So there are times you may need to get a video source into your computer so that you can use it in, say, Zoom, Teams, or something like that. That video source may be a camera or even something else. Now, if it is like a PTZ camera, a lot of those have USB out, so you can just plug it in and it becomes a webcam. It's fairly straightforward. The challenge with that is, of course, how far you want to go, because USB is really limited to about 10 feet. So if you want to go longer than that, you're going to have to use something else to get the video out. But then how do you get it into your computer? Previously, I've used little guys like this. This is from BlackMagic, and it takes an HDMI or SDI in and converts it to USB, in this case, USB-C. Now, I am actually not a fan of this particular device. You have to install software in order for it to work. And in my experience, it doesn't actually work all that well. And it's really, really picky about what video inputs it takes in. If you can get it to work, it's fine. Getting it to work is a pain. So I was excited when AVKANS reached out. I reviewed a couple of their cameras on this channel and asked if I wanted to take a look at their similar product. In the same way as the other one, it is designed to take a USB or a USB out. It sends USB out, but it's designed to take in HDMI or SDI. Those are some of the features that actually separate a product like this from what you may typically see on Amazon as game capture cards. They serve a slightly different purpose. A game capture card is going to take an HDMI in, and then usually it's going to pass through that HDMI out because you want it to continue on your screen. It basically lets you have a little device that sits between your game console and your television and allows you to capture the video as it goes by. Now, the challenge with using one of those is because that's really designed for streaming or like to Twitch or for recording. Oftentimes they can introduce a little bit of delay to it, which can be a problem if you're using it for, say, live streaming, video conferencing, or something like that. If you're just recording, delay is not such a big deal. If you're doing something else, it can be. So a professional box is, one, going to have a little less delay, or hopefully no delay at all. Two, it's going to have an SDI connection option, which of course is a great option if you need to go really far with your camera, like up 300 feet away. And that's of course a professional standard. And the added feature that this one has that I really like is the fact that it has an audio in. So you can take the video from your camera, wherever it is, that may or may not have a microphone on it, and you can go ahead and inject the audio right here with this box to be combined with the video and then all sent out over the USB to the computer. So without yet plugging it in, I can tell you so far, pretty excited about this little guy. And it's got a nice metal case, got a little heft to it, feels like it can get banged around, moved around, and you'd be all right. Okay, let me show you real quick how we plug it in, and then we'll see how it works on the computer. All right, so I have my capture box right here, and I've got my camera turned around backwards. Now, AVKANS does supply this USB-C, which is what's on this, to the USB-A cable. If you have USB-C on your computer, of course, you can use a USB-C to USB-A, whatever you want to use. But first thing we're going to do is actually plug it in to a video source. I think you can connect it in any order, but I'm going to plug the video source in first. So we're going to try it both ways. The first way we're going to try it is with the HDMI, and then we're going to try it with the SDI. So this is as simple as it gets. Plug the SDI or HDMI out into the HDMI in on my box. Then I'm going to take my USB-C, put it in there, and then I'm going to plug this into the back of the computer and fire up probably Zoom and see how it works. All right, I got it all hooked up to my computer, which took all of about 10 seconds, as you would expect, and I fired up Zoom. So let's go into settings and see if we can select our capture box as a device. All right, so I'm coming in here. I'm going to hit the button, come into video, So this is not what I want. That's one of my other video sources. As you will notice, I have several. But what we want is this guy, USB 3.1 Capture Video. So we're going to let that do its thing, and boom, right there, there it is. It is not pointing at anything interesting right now, the camera is, but that is what you would expect to see. And yep, there we go. And as you can, that is really bang on target. I'm not really in that little tiny test able to really notice any delay or anything happening there. So that's good. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap the HDMI for SDI and see if that works any differently. I don't think it's going to. All right, I got it swapped all around. I did power cycle the box. I'm not sure if that needed to happen, but it's always a good try. So we're going to go in here, we're going to go to video, and there it is, USB 3.1 Capture Video. That is running over SDI now. The HDMI isn't hooked up at all. And yep, what do you know? It works. All right, well, what do you know? As they say, it says what it is on the tin. It does what it says it's going to do. Didn't need to install any software, strictly plug and play, worked well over SDI and HDMI. I'll note that my camera was pushing out the full 1080p 60, which is its maximum rated input. So that did not seem to cause any problems. And that's, you know, 1080 is about where you want to be right now for most of your broadcasting. There are 4K boxes out there if you need to capture something a little bit more, but for most of us, the 1080p in this part is going to be fine because frankly, these are not that expensive. Right now, Amazon, they're about $199, which is competitive with the BlackMagics and other professional level boxes. But again, this one just seems to work and seems to work without any problems. So I'm pretty impressed. I didn't know that I could be impressed by USB capture box. There's so many of them out there. But if you're looking for one, spend an extra couple bucks. Especially if you want to use it for live streaming or video conferencing or anything like that, I would not rely on a game capture box. Those are really just there for a different purpose versus using one of these if you're doing like a professional level environment. But all right. Well, I hope you found that helpful and useful, and until I see you again, have a great day. Hey everybody, if you found that video helpful, please hit like and subscribe, and also check the video description for links to any products you've seen in today's videos. Doing that really helps support this channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment with any questions that you may have. A lot of the content I do is based directly on the questions and the feedback you give, so keep that coming, and I will keep making them. Thank you.